Brenton, we've got another Griffin race coming up this Sunday. You've got a ride in it, California MOXIE. You must have been pleased with the debut performance. He looked to keep on really well.
Yeah, I thought he ran well. He's still a bit raw, a bit new. He was a little bit of a lad there, sort of going on the gates, and I thought sort of his first part of the race he was a bit green, but he really knuckled down late and hit the line well. So he's hopefully taken a bit of natural improvement, and expect him to run well again on the weekend.
And I guess you'd certainly expect that, wouldn't you, with a horse like these Griffins, for example? I mean, you can see them time and time again come on a bundle for that first run.
For sure. They go one way or the other, but I'm saying he'd be one that would probably improve. He had good improvement in him, so I think from the draw it'll suit him. Hopefully he can begin a bit better than what he did the other day and be a little bit closer, and it'll give him a chance to go close.
The cheek pieces are going on. Did you have an input in that decision?
No, that was Tony, so I left that one up to him, but if he feels that it'll improve him, then I'm not to say it won't.
You always want to be drawn high on the straight course. You've got out to 10 from 5 on debut, so nice draw if you perhaps can get that rail even. Yeah,
for sure. It's been obviously very advantageous if they can sort of ride the speed and have that outside rail to sort of guide them, but he's just got to nail the start a bit better than what he did the other day, which I'm sure he will, and if he can probably posse up a little bit closer and give himself every chance to sort of get there.
Harry, HINOKAMI KAGURA, easy for you to say. One of your rides on Sunday. You've ridden him a couple of times. He's got this electric turn of foot late. He's gone close. Last time was one of them.
Absolutely. He seems to really finish strong, and if there was a 1400 metre on the all-weather, that would be right up his street. But he's racing really well recently and super consistent.
On him as an individual, I mean, just going back and having a look at his replays, Harry, he looks like he takes a bit of riding, a bit of stoking up, but he always seems to find.
He does. He hits a little bit of a flat spot, especially around the bend, and you think you're not really going to go anywhere, and he seems to then pick up extremely well in the straight. So it's always got to be a conscious thing when you're riding him in the race, just to not have him too far back and give him too much to do.
I mean, I suppose it's probably hard to put a finger on it, really. It seems to be in the Brie, but deep fields excel on this surface, so unsurprising to see him go well on it, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, as you say, that they seem to go extremely well on the surface, so he's another one.
How much could Joyful Life and Happy Tango help you, because they're pace angles?
Yeah, there looks to be a good amount of pace. I think Happy Tango would naturally go forward and put a good pace on, so it's going to help him.
Without wanting to declare it, as some might say, he does look like he's ready to win, though, doesn't he?
He does. I mean, narrowly denied last time. I thought he was just going to get up in the dying strides, but wasn't to be that day. So, yeah, he's knocking on the door of a win.
In that situation as a jockey, you're beating a nose. Did you think on the line you might have got there? Is it sort of comprehensive enough that you know you've got beat?
Yeah. Up the straight, I always thought I was going to get there, but then on the line, I thought I was beaten, unfortunately. But when I watched the replay, I think he was a nose ahead before the line and a nose ahead after the line. So it was just one of those things we got done on the nod, but hopefully he can do the business.
Karis Teetan, one of your rides on Sunday on what is a nice card is a Luminous in race number 4. Only still very lightly raced, but his form's looking very consistent.
Yeah, Nick, he's actually gone to races and performed pretty well all the time he's gone to races, so looking forward to riding him again.
Talk to me about his run last time, because that was over 2,000 metres. Obviously he's coming back in trip this time in, but he seemed to stay the trip okay, didn't he?
Yeah, the trip is no problem for him, and I think also he can handle those kind of ground. He made up a lot of ground last time also, got a bit far back, but he's a horse that's I think that's improving all the time.
He, in that race last time out, he had Unbelievable just ahead of you. He's got sort of designs on being a Group 3 winner, so the form looks pretty strong.
Yeah, of course, you go to a form like you say, you just mentioned Unbelievable now. He's running in the Group 3, so I think, like I said, I think my bloke, he's only a lightly race, but I think towards next season we'll see the best out of him.
Have you managed to ever sit on him since then, Karis?
Yeah, I galloped him, I think last week. He galloped with Unbelievable, and he galloped pretty well. I think he's ready to go.
Given he's running here off 73, I mean, obviously you mentioned sort of for next season, he could be next season's horse. I guess if he does continue to improve, which I'm sure Connections will hope, he might just develop into sort of that Group 3 horse, mightn't he? There'll be some nice races for him.
Yeah, he could be a nice little staying type horse because he really, I think the further he go, the better he'll get.
He looks a nice horse, and overall, you've got a handy enough book of rides come the weekend?
Yeah, got a few open chances, so hope the rain will stay away. That will not mess all the forms up, but yeah, it would be nice to go and be competitive.
Lyle, MULTISUPER is one of your rides on Sunday afternoon down the straight. He was pretty good last time when winning.
Yeah, I think it was a sort of expected performance. If he just maintain the form from the run prior, which he certainly did. He had the draw in his favour, and the race mapped up perfectly for him, and he got the job done. So it was long overdue. He's a horse that probably should have had a couple of wins under the belt by now, but hopefully with a bit of confidence he can keep going.
It was quite a forceful win in the end, wasn't it? I mean, he gave a really good kick sort of off the front. Were you a little bit sort of taken aback by the way he sort of finished off?
Not necessarily. I had a lot to do with him early in his career, with all his track work and trials and his first couple of starts, and sort of had a high opinion than what he's achieved. So I always knew that it was there, and it was just nice to see that after the first furlong he really tracked into the race well, and he picked up the leaders inside the final 400 metres and he powered away. So it was a strong win, and like I said, he's definitely got it underneath him.
He's in a similar spot as far as his barrier is concerned. He's got 12 this time, one from 11 last time. How important is it to perhaps have that stands rail, perhaps with a horse like him?
Yeah, it's probably even more important now that we've had this inclement weather. So that's certainly in his favour, and hopefully it adds a couple of lengths to what he needs here to win again.
Ricky Hugh, his trainer, sits on 999. You'd be doing him a good turn if you could get this one home in front.
Yeah, any win is important, but it's always nice to crack the milestones. So if I can do that for him, that'll be fantastic.
Hugh Bowman, Russian Emperor is your ride coming up in the Queen Mother Memorial this Sunday. Obviously we know him to be a high-class mile-and-a-half horse. Certainly gets out to the right trip this weekend.
Yeah, he does, and he ran in this race last year in the lead up to his Champions and Chater victory. So Douglas has chosen a similar path, which I can understand. And yeah, he'll enjoy this wet weather that's been around here in Hong Kong, and he'll enjoy getting out to the mile-and-a-half again.
I know we made quite a bit about the ground with him, of course. I mean, he has got proven form and top-level form on softer surfaces. How important is it to him now, do you think, as he gets that bit older, that he's a bit more reliant on it, perhaps?
Well, I'm not sure about that. I just think he's a bit more comfortable on it. I think he's a horse that's more inclined, he's inclined to give his best all the time, but when he's got the rain-affected ground, it just, it slows the pace of the tempo, and, they don't run as quick as sectionals, which just allows him to be more prominent, and he does enjoy the more cut in the ground. So he's getting to his senior years, and it probably adds to that. But I think, more so than the ground, the 135 in post against these quality horses with most of the field carrying 115, I mean, it's a big difference, and I think ultimately it'll be the telling tale.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 10 years, I think, since the top weight last won this race, Bubble Chic. So not an easy task at all. But I guess there's a bigger target afoot, obviously, with a Champions and Chater. He's actually won the last couple, hasn't he? A year on him last year. So, I mean, this ultimately, it comes through it, a nice trial, and he heads there.
Well, we'd like to win it if we can. It's not going to affect his handicap in the main event in a few weeks' time. So, look, the horse is going really well. I've been really satisfied with how he's come through the season. And, Douglas is happy too, I know that, so that's the main thing. And, as long as he races well and he enjoys his day out on the weekend, we're there to win it if we can. But, he found the big weight too much last year, but we were still very happy with him. And if we could get a similar response this year, it'll be all systems go.